Hi folks, Don and Bob here. We're back in Arborea Paleozoo. This is episode 9, and this time it's a Styracosaurus Marsh. And we're going to drop into the zoo, and we're hanging out near Ceratopsid Corner, the restaurant on our right, and we'll head toward the building. Before we get there though, give you a brief glimpse at a new addition to the area, which is a restroom with a couple of vending machines. I grabbed a previously built a version of this which only had the small restroom in it, but I noticed when I put that down here, the guests started showing up en masse, so I modified it to be the larger restroom, and also went back and modified the other one, since despite claiming to be happy about the bathroom situation, the guests were not, obviously, given how much they're lining up for these larger restrooms. So let's head into the building. We've seen it before in the Ceratops introduction. And we're going to turn to the right slowly, get around this post. And the little information corner with the Ceratopsid family tree sort of sign that I had built previously. See if we can find an animal. So looking out at what is a rather more elevated section of the habitat that I thought I was building at the time. So I will probably have to go in and put in another viewpoint. And this only emphasizes it with that tree marking the rise. You can barely see most of the exhibit, only if the animals come up here. Now their feeding pan is up here, so they should come up pretty regularly. But they're obviously not up here now. You can see their pond there on the left, and the mangroves screening the run for the Ceratops. We'll see that run again later in the video. So let's go up now and take a look at there's the habitat in general. You can see the feeding pan clearly now, and you can see that run coming from the Ceratops habitat that's at the base of the screen, and it runs out to the care building in the back. I do have a speed build for you today, which involves the care building primarily, and a little bit of fleshing out this habitat as it went along. So I'm reasonably pleased with the way it came out, except for what I discovered when I started doing the video for this, that I'm going to need another viewpoint for people to really get a good look at the animals in this habitat. I'm probably going to put it right where that flicker was, as something was, the shadows were cutting in and out, right there at the end of that rock run. So you can see I changed the foliage toward this end of the habitat, and I wanted to put in some of this seasonal foliage just for variety. For the habitat in general and the park as a whole. So there's the care building. As it started, I had already built the portion for the Ceratops, and they will come down that run and use it on occasion. And there's a little bit of food and water for them in there because it is a long walk. And now the speed build of finishing out the building. It's using the same palette of pieces from the viewing building, which seemed appropriate for this section of the park, and then a couple of things to individualize it for what is going on here. There. Getting the building laid out, the next thing I played with was some of the terraforming. You can see me running the terrain tool, and that gap between the raised area was the fence, where the invisible fence is. And I was doing that so I could track along it to build this raised area to give the animals some sort of variety. It is labeled Marsh, and most of that is actually down by the mangroves and where the water will be going in. But these animals probably didn't spend their whole time there. So I wanted more of a forest because they do seem to like a lot of forest, and differentiate it from the water area. And it was time to put animals in to make sure they were satisfied, which they weren't until I put on all the foliage and some more water, and in general got the habitat almost finished. You're getting to see it in this spin around till we get back to the viewing building. And then time for a little more speed building. After I checked the navigation for the animals, I thought the opening was far too wide for what I had in mind. So it was back to the building to fix that. Ultimately, I had to do that again. You can see me putting in the fill for that gap in the wall height there, just to add some more visual interest to the building. But I did have to come back to the openings and change them again because the animals were getting stuck, as the Prehistoric Kingdom animals are wont to do. If the opening is just narrow enough that they can nominally use it, if they don't hit it just right, they get stuck. And these days that's a problem with them dying of thirst. So having put on the roof edge, I decided to put in the skylight, mainly over the care run there in the concrete floor that you can see in the building there, and then put on an edge cap around the flat area of the roof to add sort of a parapet, if you will, to it and get it positioned right, and then modify the piece to raise it high enough. Again, all in interest of having it not be a bland, just like all the others, roof. Having gotten that edge in, I wanted to make a more plausible edge to the glass areas of the roof, and did that by running down the roof ridge piece and then adjusting it with its height to make it a little bit of a parapet itself and its length, so that it didn't protrude through the other bit of parapet, and then lining the rest of the edges of the glass so it looks a little bit more finished. And that's pretty much it for the outside of the building, except of course doors. As usual, I forgot to do doors. You know, they have no real function, they're fussy, and I was trying to get this out in order to make sure it would be ready for the release this week. And once the building was up like this, vegetation needed to be adjusted to blend things in, and then some rock work time to catch some of those edges to keep the animals from walking implausibly up slopes that would have really been too steep for them. So there was a bit of work doing that. Overall, I think the result came out to be pretty good for the habitat, and the rock work went in pretty easily, and vegetation adjustments get those plants stopping growing through the rocks, and also breaking up the outline of the rocks so it looks a little more visual pleasing. I had put large boulders, as you can see this dinosaur walking on them, right by the viewing platform, which was intended to discourage them from getting really close to the viewing platform. But the PK animals are more comfortable walking on that than I think the real ones would be. So this is our male that we're focusing on right now. As you can see, he's a melanistic and pretty sharp looking fellow. They like a lot of vegetation, so they tend to disappear into the foliage, so our apologies for shortcuts of animal locomotion as the animals were disappearing as the camera moved, as the cameras do on the auto track, and shooting through vegetation or walls and whatnot and not seeing them well. And these are our females. We have the 3 female group recommended as a minimum. And They're here keeping the male company. They seem very happy with this habitat. They're moving together well on it, and I'm liking that. And that's pretty much the end for today. If you like the video, hit that button. If you've got a comment to make, I'd appreciate hearing from you. I'll do my best to answer it. And I guess that's pretty much it for this time. Still looking for subscribers, as always. So, you all take care. I hope to see you in another video. Till next time, this is Dino Bob. Take care of yourselves. Be kind to each other out there. And I'll see you soon, I hope. Bye now.